What's up, guys? We're playing some rapid chess on chess.com, and we are 2,500 exactly. Goal for the stream, end higher than we started. Playing against the 2,400. Let's play e4. Sicilian, I mean, it's been a while. I think I haven't been playing too many Smith-Morra. Let's play a Smith-Morra gambit here. He goes for this line. We're going to push the pawn. We're going to bring the queen out. We're going to play knight f3. Put the queen on e4. This is kind of mainline stuff here. Yes, f5 is pretty typical, and we're going to drop the queen back. d6 is a move, I suppose. I don't remember. I think I'm supposed to chase this knight around. I think. Let's chase the knight. Why not? It's probably going to go back here, and then do I take this pawn or do I leave it? That is the question. Take the pawn or leave it. If we leave it and play knight c3, if we take, we don't have a fork, but we might have the possibility of a fork. Why do I feel like I'm supposed to take it? Something is telling me, Nelson, take the pawn. Just take the pawn. All right, let's take the pawn. Let's just take it and develop the pieces. Get the knights out there. Get the bishops out next. We have to get our pieces out so we can castle our king to safety and get the rooks in the center, right? Typical beginner stuff. Anybody can do this. f5. That looks like a very strange move because they're weakening their king. They're also weakening this square. I can't believe that that's a very good move. But it does attack my queen. So I have to move my queen. I'm thinking we just go back. I can't believe that that was a smart decision. Question is, can we make them pay for that? And then they castle, just like that. All right, so option one, we develop with the tempo here, and then we castle ourselves. Our king is a little bit open, but not too much. I like the fact that the rook goes there immediately. Alternatively, we play something like g3, try to fianchetto and castle this way. But that seems really slow. I think we should be quick here. I think we should be quick and get the king. Okay, I wasn't expecting bishop e7, actually. I was expecting queen c7. Oh, queen c7, I could have played knight b5. Okay. So now I can't castle. That's the problem. You cannot castle through a check, right? So what am I going to do? h4 to support the bishop. They're not going to want to take and open up the h file. Rook to d1. Ah, rook d1 is interesting. Where's the queen going to go? Where's the queen going to go? c7, knight b5. Where's the queen going? Oh, I have to watch out for... I like h4, though, honestly. I think h4 is a nice little move here. Let's do it. I'm not really sure where my king's going to go. So I hope I don't regret this decision. I mean, I'm still not sure if they want to take that because it still opens up the h file. And so I think we can just continue with a nice little, maybe rook to d1. Let's see where the queen is going to go, and then I'll decide if I want to save my bishop or not. Okay, queen's on e8. All right. So, of course, we could trade, play g3, bishop g2, maybe castle. We could play g3 and just ignore it. I don't know if that's a smart decision, guy. I don't think so. I don't see an immediate way to get my queen over there. That's the problem. If my queen could just instantly transport here, we could start generating these threats. It might be worth it. But with the queen on e8, it actually stops queen h5 ideas. Yeah, I don't think so. I think we should trade here. Or retreat. That could be another option. Trade or retreat. Yeah, what do I want to do, actually? Go back? Maybe? Get control. Okay, their position's kind of cramped. Maybe we do want to keep this bishop on the board. It's a grip on. I like it, actually. Let's do this. I want to play g3, bishop g2, get my king over here. Generally speaking, if your opponent's position is a bit cramped, trading pieces is going to free things up for them. So that's what I'm going to avoid. All right. How about g3? We got to get this bishop out of here, I think. Play the immediate knight e5, but I don't really know why. I think we need this king out of the center. Bishop g2. Now we're ready to castle. Our opponent's not even thinking. They're literally not even thinking. Okay. Hmm. Queen's on f7. All right. Knight e5 is interesting. Of course, they're going to take me. I can plant my bishop in the center. b3 might be useful. It shuts down this knight. This guy's a little bit weak, but we can probably just move him. Shouldn't be an issue. Let's go ahead and play b3, solidifying these squares, taking away this knight. He does attack the knight. And like I said, I think I'm just going to jump it forward here. We have 3 attackers, only 2 defenders, so I don't think they can play e5. So I'm eyeing these squares, okay? I'm thinking about a bishop coming in there. I'm thinking about a knight coming in there. This activates my rook. Pretty happy to see that. Okay. Yeah, let's think about this, guys. Knight to d6. Where's the queen going to move? Knight to d6, c5. Then we give up the d5 square. Knight e5. Do we have any crazy tactics here? Bishop c7. He's going to trade. Our queen gets the file. Yeah, I kind of want to keep some pieces on the board, actually. I think we could go knight to d6 here. Although after the queen moves, still wondering what I'm going to do. I mean, this is good too. This is kind of annoying for the knight. So maybe we just plant the bishop on c7. Suppose I could try to keep the rooks on the board, but I don't like giving up the file like that. Yeah, this is a tough moment. Let's go bishop c7. Let's go bishop c7. He's going to trade the rooks for sure. I feel like our opponent's plan is to flag us. So let's keep an eye on the time. We're halfway. I mean, we're already on move 22, though. We're doing okay. You can't help it if your opponent's going to just play like a bullet game, right? You have to keep making good decisions. So if he plays a6, we've got the knight here. That's going to win us a pawn. I would like to activate this bishop somehow, so I'm going to be looking. Okay, I think we could actually trade this. He takes with the knight, not the bishop. But still, I think this endgame is okay for us. Let's trade. He's going to take with the knight. Oh, he takes with the bishop. Whoa, that's a mistake, yeah? That's a free pawn if I'm not mistaken, guys. I think that's a free pawn. The idea is after the recapture, we simply take here. So I don't think that's going to work. What's up, Rob? Okay, there we go. We got a pawn. So now, yeah, now we have a great chance here. 3 against 1. As long as we don't get flagged. I want to activate the king. This bishop's really annoying because it's stopping my knight, unfortunately. Don't see an easy way to deal with that. What is his plan going to be? He might want to go here and target my pawn. Let's see. King f1, knight b4, a3. Yeah, I almost want to stop that knight from coming in. a3, you have to worry about this being a weakness. But he can't go there. So maybe I just play a3. Okay. Let's play a3. And then let's try to get the king to the center. I think that's the next priority. Yeah, that's sort of smart. King f1 pushes here. Are we okay with that position? Let's drop the knight back. We might need to play f3 and get rid of this pawn. This pawn's really strong here. I could sack. We'd have 3 pawns for the knight. It activates our bishop very nicely. But is that the best plan? Alternatively, just bring the king. Maybe we just bring the king. I don't think we need to sacrifice just yet. That seems a bit desperate, right? Oh, wait a second. Bishop d4, though? Oh, it's defended. Okay, it's defended. All right, let's go ahead. So how do we start rolling these pawns, right? That's what needs to happen. It's not that easy. I have to activate this bishop somehow. Maybe we put the king here. But then bishop e5, he's going to push this. No, you can't push it. You actually can't push that because we take here. Okay. Okay. Maybe I even play f4 or f3. f3, undermine this. Oh, no, then we lose the pawn. We have to play f4. Takes. Da-da-da. Yeah, this is tough. I mean, we're definitely better, but it's not easy to win this. I am considering at some point sacrificing one of these pieces because we won't be risking losing the game because black won't have enough pawns, I don't think. We might not be able to win, but I would prefer my chances with the pawns. Okay, he goes there. I think we want to push. It does open up a square. I don't think that's a big deal. Let's go ahead and push. Ah, he wants to pin me. That's the idea. Okay. Don't think we want to stay in a pin. Do not think we want to stay in a pin. Yeah, actually, I'm almost considering sacking the bishop here because the knight's going to be able to target this pawn. Oh, actually, I just take with the bishop, though. It targets it immediately. What am I saying? Should we do it? I'm going to have to make a decision here, guys. I'm going to have to. Check, though, is concerning. Check is very concerning. Okay, let's go. Let's go so we don't flag. Let's centralize the bishop and try to get ready to roll the pawns here. Yes. And there's shouldn't be a way that we lose this unless it's going to be on time. As far as I can tell, that's like the only way we lose this game. Now, how do I get past this annoying pawn? That's the question. Maybe I sack the bishop and then push? F3, probably smart to go ahead and trade off this one, so we don't have to worry about that. Then it'll just be this guy to get rid of. You know what? Maybe I play A6. Yeah, let's trade that. We might want to go here, B7. So we're threatening this, which wins the bishop. Then we have an endgame 3 pawns against 2 pawns. Yeah, which should be good for us. Just have to keep an eye on that guy. Let me go ahead and create the pass pawn here. Okay. Looks like it's going to be a draw. Looks like it's going to be a draw, which is unfortunate. But I also have to be careful that I don't lose. No, we lost. How did I lose this, guys? It's the wrong pawn anyway. Even if I can push it, it's still the wrong pawn. If black knows anything about endings, we're going to lose. Yeah. Ah, man. That's unfortunate. I'm sure we were winning for like 90% of the game. Yeah. Probably just played too slowly. Yeah, so definitely we're winning for like all of this section and then blundered it at the end. Let's see. We did have a brilliant move. Yes, F5. Actually, F5 is the top engine move. What? That is the engine move. Okay. I don't know why it's giving it the symbol. It's literally showing me that's the best move. Anyway. Wow. How about that? So I didn't realize that. Okay, so I think they messed up when they gave us the pawn. Pretty sure this was their big mistake. Right here. Yep. So we're up a pawn. So what did I do wrong? Okay, sacrificing the piece was the bad decision. Stockfish says just bring this bishop back, target the pawn. They actually don't have a good way to defend that because if they bring the knight back, now the knight has left, we can undermine. So all I had to do was bring this bishop back to the action. That's it. So simple. Instead, I did this. Still got an okay position, which there's no way I would have lost this if I had more time. There's no way. Yeah, actually, this is totally winning. That was my big mistake, F3. I needed to make sure my king could stop the pawn. I don't know why I did this. I think I underestimated how fast the pawn was going to go. And yeah, that's what I needed to do. Just get the king over there to stop this guy. And it's an easy win. I can deal with this later, you know? Although I didn't have a ton of time, so it's kind of understandable. Yeah, now I just sort of blundered everything away. Okay, well, that's chess for you. Well, now we have a target. We got to get back to 2,500. All right, here we go. Here we go. Let's get some points back. We'll try to speed up a little bit. Okay, I mean, I don't really know. I guess we just play like... If I play a6, do I actually lose the pawn? Yeah, we might lose a pawn if I do that. I don't know. I'm not really familiar with the Four Knights game. I haven't really studied this yet. They're probably going to play d4, yeah. Let's just take it and play bishop d7. Probably shouldn't pre-move that just in case they decide to take here. But okay, now we can go there. Let's just keep it nice and solid. We'll get the king to safety. Won't try to do anything too fancy too fast with black. Just want to get an equal position first. Once you've got a nice equal position, pieces are developed. Usually that's when you can start trying to take over the advantage. Unless, of course, your opponent does something crazy, right? Then you can maybe try sooner, but they haven't done anything. They've developed their pieces on every move. They've fought for the center. They've castled, so that they haven't done anything wrong. There's no reason to expect that we would have an advantage in a position like this. Okay, do I want to trade these bishops? There's also this idea of sacrificing and playing d5. But then they sack, the queen comes in. Don't think that's the right moment. If you play d5 straight away, They have too many pieces. So let's go here. It does open up the F file if they take. I think I just want to defend these pawns, connect my rooks, and then see where we go from there. Maybe c5 gives the queen some options, also shuts down the bishop's attack. I can play like rook b8. I mean, I could honestly probably play rook b8 anyway, let him take this, because then I get the rook on the second rank. And this is a weakness. This is a weakness. So rook b8 straight away, or c5. Yeah, let's go right away. I'm okay if they want to take that. I don't think they will. I think they're definitely going to deal with this, probably with b3, and that's when I think I'll play c5. Okay, c5, rook's coming to d1. I'm probably going to just move my queen here, put some pressure on the pawn, get away from the x-ray attack, because otherwise they could just take my pawn. You see that? We don't want that. Oh, you do have to watch out for queen c4. I just noticed that, because that's going to hit a weak pawn. Hold on. So rook d1, queen c6, queen c4. Can I play d5? They have 1, 2, 3, 4 attackers. I only have 3 defenders. I just noticed that. That's a very annoying move. Yeah, how do we deal with that? I almost have rook b4 take the pawn, but it's check. Uh-oh. I mean, I hate to have to play a move like queen c8. I would hate to have to play that. The problem is this is a threat, right? This is a threat, and if I move here, then queen c4 is threatening my pawn. How do I defend the pawn? I'm not playing king f7. No way. Man, I really don't like this move, but I feel like we have to do it. That was a good idea, actually, going for this. I need to get my king out of there, too, because I don't want it to be with check. So I want to play king h8. Oh. Well, that I don't think we care so much about. We just take it. We do have to move the knight, but maybe we just go back. It looks pretty passive, but I think we're actually pretty solid if this trade happens, because it fixes our pawn structure. So I don't know what their plan is now. And actually, we are threatening d5 here. Yeah, I'm kind of like this because it's sort of clarifying the situation that was awkward for us in the center. Unless I'm missing something. Okay, so he wants to stop d5 by taking this. That's not really a threat. It's defended twice. We could play rook b4. But c4 kind of shuts me down. We could play a5 with the idea of going here. We could play rook b4, then a5 with the idea of going there. What is white's next move going to be? I mean, that doesn't scare me. f5 doesn't scare me. Knight g5? I don't think that scares me. All right, let's play a5. So what I'm trying to do is get them to play a4. Because then I can play rook b4. And they don't have c4 because I take their pawn. So that's the idea of this move. We want to come here and put the pressure like this. And then also maybe even c4, put the pressure like that. If they don't stop me, then maybe I'll just go here and trade off my isolated pawn and still go there. So what does white have in store for us? That's the question. Queen c4 runs into rook b4. f5, I think we just take it. Knight g5. Probably just take it. This bishop's not great anyway. Also h6 if we for some reason needed to, but I think I would probably just take. Now I don't like my knight. Let's see what they're going to do first. Uh-huh. Okay, interesting idea. So they want to checkmate me. Rook h3, queen h5, checkmate. Actually, that's quite annoying. So you have to be a little careful here. If I play rook b4, I don't think they can sacrifice the knight. We would have time to defend somehow with h6, probably. So they would need to respond. If they play c4, a4, then they could go on the attack. We are going to get some pressure, but then we have to deal with this, which is quite annoying. Rook h3, I can play rook f5 to stop the queen from coming over, but g4 is nasty. Then what? I have to go back? Yeesh. It does stop the queen. g5, then we play like g6. Their knight's going to get here. Oh. I mean, it's not the end of the world. The game goes on, but I'm not loving my position anymore. Wow. Yeah, it's a pretty good idea. Okay, I'm going to play rook b4. My rook's not doing anything anyway. They're going to play c4, though, and I still have to find a new move. I don't know if I have time for this. a4. Oh, that's... Actually didn't see that. Huh. Okay. I'm going to sack the rook here. Try to get some counterplayed in a different way. Basically, this pawn is going to be super weak, and so we can target that. Also, we're kicking the knight out of here, and I might even be able to route my knight here. Then my bishop all of a sudden becomes pretty good. My rooks were my rooks were basically useless anyway, so this makes a lot of sense. Sometimes when you're in this is very practical takeaway, guys. When you're in a tough situation, a lot of the time, strong players are going to look for these little sacrifices to kind of free up their position. And practically speaking, sometimes it's exactly what you need. Now, we'll see. Yeah, they're not even going to take it, it looks like, which is interesting. So I might play g6 here to stop the knight and then reroute my knight. Again, I'm still okay if they take that. I got to get this knight into the game. Yeah, I already feel better about our position. Even though we're down the exchange, at least we have something to play for. Get our knight here. Queen A8, target this weak pawn. Our central control now looks pretty good and very solid. It's going to be hard for white to do anything with these pawns. We've got a nice blockade here. They can't really attack me easily. Why don't I take with the C pawn? Yeah, because with the C pawn, I lose control over here. Now you could make an argument that I still have another pawn to replace it, but then I can't attack a weakness. I really like this ability to attack this weak pawn because if I can do that and come in here, then everything falls apart. So let's go ahead, fix the knight first of all. And now I'm thinking queen A8. And I mean, they don't want to move their rook there, right? Then they've completely eliminated a rook from the game. You can't push it because we en passant and have a passed pawn. So basically, I'm just going to come in here and start targeting all these pawns. I couldn't do that if I took the other way. So sometimes you have to break those principles. Yeah, you have some doubled pawns. There's another principle though, right? Capture towards the center, which I am following. So it's kind of a trade-off. But in this position, I just feel like this is a great target. Okay, so there we go. They didn't really know what to do. They played king h1, which was a good sign. And I mean, it's because our position is really solid now, right? Now, if white is smart, they might consider a move like rook f1, allowing me to take it with the idea to invade with their rooks. And I will have to actually consider if I'm actually going to take... I'm actually going to take the pawn or not. I think I'd like to get my rook here first because then if I take, they can't easily go there because we just sacked the queen for two rooks, and we'd have a rook and a bishop in a pretty nice position with a lot of pressure on the back rank. Also, it's hard for white to find a move, right? I mean, I've got the position pretty much locked down. Unless they're going to sacrifice something, but I don't even know what they would sacrifice in this position. If we give them an A file, then it becomes clear. They bring their rooks, they bring their rook, they bring the other rook, they bring the other rook, and all of a sudden they're attacking everything, right? Okay, so now they defend. Interesting. Yeah, so I have to decide. I mean, the rook is good here and here because there's a nice target. It's kind of tough for me to find a move too, right? I'll have to play something, so I'll go here for now. I might play queen b2. Oh, okay. Now I have to be a little careful. Where's the queen going? That's a move I did not consider. I'm not sure if I want to let the queen invade there. Oh, but it's got queen c6 too. All right, we're going to try king f7 here. It's a bit risky because f5 they could sacrifice, but I think we're okay. Scary looking. Oh, they're going to trade queens. Okay, well, this positionally should be okay for us. See if we can continue to clamp down on their position, not let them play g4 because I want the square for my knight. King's going to go here. Let's shut down that idea. We can always en passant here. We have knight to d4 as well. And I am trying to play quickly here, put the pressure on the clock. We do have some nice threats, though. Bishop c5 is a move. Let's go ahead and en passant that. What? I think they just blundered. Let's push these guys. Okay. A4. There's a fork, but it doesn't really do anything. I just take the pawn. Also, I could just push here. So they stop that, but now we just take. How do I do this? Targeting this pawn. Oh, I could have taken with the rook. Oops. I should have taken with the rook. That was a mistake. Okay. Well, yeah, let's take a look and see what Stockfish said about some of those decisions. I should have just taken with the rook at the end. I don't know why I took with the pawn. I forgot that I had a pawn that was going to be a queen if I just traded the rooks. All right. So Stockfish says we actually played a pretty good game. Let's go to that critical moment. By the way, what's the main line for black in this position? Bishop d6 actually scores very well. And if they go here, you just take it. And you just castle. Bishop d6, huh? So white usually plays this. You can play h6, a3, a6. They go back. And then you go with bishop c. Wow, what an interesting maneuver. Okay, I'm not familiar with that. Anyway, let's go to the critical moment where I sacrificed the exchange. Yeah. Stockfish says best move is d5. Yeah. So Stockfish agrees with me. This is the best thing to do. And then here it disagrees. Here it would have kept the rook alive by going back, but it's a very small thing. And yeah, Stockfish says you could take either way. It likes this one a little bit better. But you see, like, even this point, I still don't have my exchange back and it's already equal. So it just goes to show how, like, rooks are not really that great if there's no open files, right? And that's kind of one of the things about the position. The rooks just couldn't do a lot this game. Then, of course, they blundered the fork. We pushed our pawns. Now it's relatively straightforward win. Yeah, right here, though, if I would have just taken with the rook, because after this happens, there's this. And if they try to stop me, I just take it, obviously. So. Thank you for making chess look easy. Get that GM title. Hey, thanks. Do my best. Working on it. All right, we're 24.94. We got some points back. We are black again. Let's play e5 again. Okay. I'm expecting bishop c4. I don't know why. It's just what I think he's... Nope. Bishop b5. Okay, we'll go a6. Attack the bishop. Goes back. Okay, I'm going to play this line. I've been looking at this recently. Let's just see how this works out for us. It's the Schliemann defense with f5. Technically, this one's called a deferred Schliemann because we played a6 first. But basically, Schliemann defense is... Schliemann? I don't know how to say it. f5. Very aggressive move. Kind of rare. Goes knight to c3. Interesting move. Because I want to take and play d5. Now, it's going to get absolutely crazy after knight e5. Takes, check. Oh, man. It's going to be complete chaos. I think... Oh, you know what? No. You know what? I think this is actually good for us, guys. I think this is good for us. I think we go b5 first. I think that's what we do. We go b5, and then we take. Because now if they take, we can play d5. Yes. Yes. I think we tricked them already, if I'm not mistaken. d5. So if I'm not mistaken, against the normal Schliemann defense, knight c3 is good, but against this version, it's not something like that. Yeah, I mean, now I just play like knight f6, right? Just have a nice looking game. Look at this. I'm black, and I have a huge center. Like, who wouldn't want to play this position? Now, we have to be careful, because white does have 3 pieces out. They're about to castle and put a rook here. So let's not let our guard down. Okay. Kind of want to pin this guy, but there's going to be h3. Bishop c5 or bishop d6. I think we need some more support here. You're about to hit 850 from 430 in 100 days. Nice. Way to go, man. That's pretty good. Was that like 3 months? Yeah, that's not bad at all. Doubled your rating. All right. Do I care about this, guys? Do we care about this? I'm thinking about going here, letting him play h3, and then just going back as sort of a... I mean, of course they can trade, but then my queen comes to the fight. It doesn't do much over there, though, so maybe this is the smart thing. Maybe that's the smart thing. Keep it closed. Yeah, I'd rather castle and bring this rook over to the attack and leave that rook on a1 than allow it to pull my queen away. But I do like this idea of bishop g4, h3, move my bishop back somewhere. The reason you would want to do that is because you can make the argument that this pawn being on h3 is actually a weakness to white's king, right? Like this knight, for example, now all of a sudden only has one defender instead of two. And if we push this pawn at some point, we have a fork here, which is good for opening up the king. So there's advantages to going there and back as opposed to just immediately going here. You could also say, well, no, their pawn is actually stopping my pieces, which is a valid point too, right? Can I get away with just castling though? I want to get the king out of the center. This is defended. I think we can do it. I think we can do it. I do want to get my king in the corner. That would be amazing if we can make that happen. Okay, so e4 looks good, but let's think. This is pinned. So the pawn's not helping, but it is defended by the knight. They can play knight g5, threatening that, but we just tuck the king, get away from any shenanigans. Ah, wait a second. You guys see what I'm seeing here? Here. Takes check. Uh-huh. So what I'd have to do is actually sack my bishop. They take with something. Then I take because then it's defended. So we end up trading. That's okay. That's an okay trade. That's an okay trade. Okay, they don't go for it. So now we just get the king out of the line of fire. So this is actually defended again. We've got more space. We're starting to set up for a kingside attack here. I'm actually seeing a very simple plan, guys. Very simple plan to checkmate this king. Knight to g4 and queen to h4. Look at that. h3, bishop takes g3. You can't even take my knight. You get checkmated, so you got to take back. I take back. You take back. There's some stuff going on here, and the bishop. I mean, it's going to be a little interesting, but h3. h3. Maybe knight f2 is the idea. Yeah, knight f2, bishop h3. Just sacrifice everything. Just sacrifice that. Sacrifice that so our rook is defended. We got the queen here. We've got the bishop lined up. That should be pretty good. Boom, boom, boom. Okay. So they're trying to be proactive about it. What about e3? If you take, you lose a piece. If you can't take, you got to move your knight. Then I take check. You can't take with the rook because I take here. So you got to take with the king. Then I take. Your king is now on g3. So I go check. You go back. I go check. You got 95. Well, there's definitely a good move here. We just have to figure out what it is, guys. I mean, it's crazy as it sounds. I could still go there because I have queen h4, which is a great follow-up. But is that better than this? Because the knight f3 stops some of my plans. I have to have a really good move here if I'm going to get away with this. So takes. King takes, right? That's the key position, right? That's the key position where we need something to happen for us. We've got, okay, hold on, guys. We've got, knight g4 check, queen d. I'm having a hard time here, guys. Boom, 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 boom. King is on f2. What do we do about it? Knight g4 takes queen h4. The knight is pinned. You can't defend your. Oh wait, you could play bishop f4. Okay, but then I take with the rook. That's no good. Oh, I'm so tempted, guys. I'm so tempted. I think we should do that. We should go check. If the king moves, we take this. So they're going to have to do it. We go there. I don't see what they're going to do. I honestly don't see what they're going to do. Here we go. Let the fireworks begin. They're going to play knight f3. Only moved, as far as I can tell. Knight can't move anywhere else. So what else are you going to do? I'm going to take. Threatening their knight. They're going to have to bring the king out. Oh, I can also just play knight e4, which is maybe even better. Then we just win a piece. So, okay, we'll still look at the fancy move knight g4, but knight e4 is a simple way to just win a piece. I actually forgot about that. Okay, so there we go. Now we take. And out comes the king to defend the knight. I did not see that move. But it still doesn't look like a very good move. Oh, there's a nasty line here. There's so many nasty lines. Let's start with the obvious one. Takes, check with the queen. If you block with the bishop, we have knight h5 and we win a piece. So, no. If you... Actually, no, what I'll do is I'll go check first, force you back, then I'll go check. You can't block with the bishop. If you go g3, we take and we win. So if you go back, we go check. You have to step in line. We take. You go back. We go back. We get a queen. We win. So the only move, takes, check, king to it, is knight e5. But then we just take it. We just take it. And you can't take because the same line. Yeah, that's just winning. That's just winning. Now, the other fancy line is knight g4 check. Takes, stack the rook. Because then we want to go check with the queen. Wow. Which also might even be better. Check with the... Oh, no, but then they step over here. No, that's checkmate. Wow. So I have two winning lines. The question is, which one do I want to play? Oh, what if they move the king, though? What if they move the king? Ah, sneaky. Nah, it's still going to be winning because of the queen coming over. Yeah, I'm definitely feel like both of these moves are winning. So there takes. There is g5 though. No, it's not a good move, is it? Okay, I'm gonna do this one. We'll check. Let's investigate knight g4 after the game. I'm just feeling like maybe there's something I'm missing. This one is pretty straightforward though. This one is pretty obviously winning. Check. Queen's coming up. They're gonna have to play knight e5, and we just take it. As far as I can tell, that it's game over. Because king h1 is not an option because of this check and take the rook. The only move we take, I just don't see anything for white. Same situation. It's over. Why not knight e4 immediately? Oh, you know what? That's an interesting idea too. Knight e4 immediately. I guess then maybe they can play knight e5. And it's a little bit more complicated. That might still work. Yeah, they just resigned. I mean, we had a lot of good moves, I think, in that position. Let's see what the Fitch says the best one was. All right, so I don't think they played a good move. Yeah, knight c3 is just not a good move. Apparently, I did something out of order, though. I'm supposed to take here first, then play b5 and d5. The order that I did it is wrong because... Ah, they don't have to take. They could take here. What is that? What is this? Whoa. And I'm losing. Somehow I'm losing. Yikes. That's one to watch out for. So for future reference, you got to take here first. And then their best option is to actually go ahead and trade and take here. We still get d5 in though, and we still have a great position. Bishop g4 or even e4, but it's different. Okay. Anyway, we get this position. Fine. And let's see. Yeah, e3. Best move. E3. Definitely. You guys remember I said earlier I was thinking about going bishop g4 to make them play h3? Exactly because of a situation like this, right? Because now the knight is weaker. So now these types of moves that normally wouldn't work, because normally they would just take and it would still be defended. Now all of a sudden, oh, it works. We go e3. We take. And just look at the problems. They can't take with the rook like they would want to if they had a pawn here because they have to guard the knight. So now all of a sudden you're making moves like king takes f2 or king h2, which is even worse. And somebody actually said 94. Yeah, 94 apparently, according to the engine, is just as good, maybe even slightly better than taking. So that would have been fine. Everybody who said this. Now I'm curious about this one. I was planning on playing rook takes f3, and I didn't see how they were going to stop checkmate here. Yeah, Stockfish says g5 is the only move. So it does stop the checkmate, but it's still a very bad position for white. Now the bishop comes out. I mean, it's awful. It's awful. They try to save their queen. Look at this checkmate. This is wow. Wow. Pawn and two bishops. That is nasty, guys. Oh, man. Do the ready. I don't really play the ready, unfortunately. Fortunately, I don't play the ready. So, yeah, knight g4 would have also worked. Knight e4 would have also worked. What we played in the game also works. And queen d6, yeah, that actually leads to a forced mate. Their best chance is to go here, but we just take it. But what I was showing you guys is if they go back, look at this. Knight g3 check. Because the pawn is there, they have to go here, which allows us to get a double check. And then... oh, my. Look at that checkmate. Look at that checkmate. What is happening here? What is happening here? Oh, man. All right. We have a request for the ready. I mean, I don't really play the ready, but let me see. Hold on. Is there more to it? I mean, I know it starts with knight f3, but is there like some particular plan? Is it just knight f3 c4? That's the ready? The ready gambit? It's probably going to turn into like a King's Indian attack, just so you know. I'll play it since you super chatted. I'll play it. If we get white, I'll play it. Don't expect too much. That's all I'm saying. Don't expect too. We're back to 2,500. Almost like, we didn't get white. Okay. Well, King's Indian. How about that? That's pretty close, right? It's pretty close. Oh, f3. Okay, I know what we're supposed to do. I know we're supposed to play c5, which is a pawn sacrifice, which is not usually accepted. It's accepted this time. Now I have to think because I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I know you give up the pawn and you do try to get compensation on the dark square. So what does that look like? What does that look like? b6? Bring out the bishop, bring the rook. Knight to d4. Threatening a fork, that seems easy enough for them to deal with. Or is it? Bishop takes, we attack. Huh. Oh, they can just castle. Yeah, they can actually just castle if I play knight to d4. No, we can't do that. All right. So, I have no idea. I'm going to be honest with you. I have no idea what I'm supposed to play now. Bishop e6. All right. Let's play b6. I'm really not sure what the move is. This seems reasonable. Put some pressure on the pawn and then like get the other rook in position. If they ever play b3, it's going to unleash this guy. Even this kind of makes me wonder, what can we do here? Okay, I want to take and play knight to d4, but if they take me here, I'm going to get a fork. That's fine. If they take me here and then take here, I feel like we can sack. We get a piece, but yeah, let's do it. Let's do it. Because basically the idea is white's not castled, the rooks are out of the game. Meanwhile, you know, all of our pieces are ready to start putting pressure. So that's the point of this gambit. As far as I am aware, it's not accepted very often though. So I don't even know if I've ever played a game like this. So this will be a learning opportunity. We can check after the game and see what's the deal. Well, finally, our opponent is thinking. So I think they're out of their book. And we are causing some problems. This is a really big threat. Whoa. Whoa. I mean, how about that? For some reason, didn't think they were going to do that. So we can check. It doesn't do much, I suppose. We can take. That just develops for them. I guess we just take the pawn back here. Hmm. I mean, what's the point? If I check and they just go there, then I can't even take this. So I think I should take this while I can, right? Yeah, I think I have to take this. I don't see anything else to do. So we go check, or do we do something else? Check looks nice because I think it's going to force the king over. Still not exactly sure what to do now, though. I don't believe we can get away with sacrificing because even though it looks nice, it's not like I have anything. I guess we're going to reroute the knight around. Hold on, there's a4 though. So knight here, a4. Hmm. What else do I play? I don't know. Attack the bishop? Doesn't seem right. Maybe we should, because if it has to go back there, we can actually take it. And if they have to give it up, then we can maybe attack. Maybe it is a rook here. Okay, let's play rook c7. Somehow I feel like maybe I didn't do it. I just noticed our opponent is 2,600. Whoa. Actually did not realize that. I wasn't even paying attention. Okay, so it's quite possible that they know this line very deep. Okay, that must be what's going on here. All right. That must be what's going on. Did you guys notice I was playing at 2600? 2646? Mr. Yuri? Okay, he goes back there. That's going to allow me to attack it again, which I think I'm going to do. Try to gain some momentum here. Okay, so now we've cut off the rook. Still a question of what to do, but I think this knight needs to come into the party. So let's go get the knight into the action somehow. And I mean, I think this is, this is what you expect. You give up a pawn, but you get a position like this where you have all your pieces on great squares and white is trying to finish development. And now it's a question of, can you make it work and win the game? Or is white going to be able to defend and take the pawn to the end game, right? Okay, option one, we attack this guy. That's a checkmate threat. That's a very big threat. They have to, 100% have to move their knight. They're not going to go back where they came from, I don't believe. They might go here, but then we can actually play knight e5, which is a pretty nasty move, actually. And if they go here, we can play, knight to d4, also a pretty nasty move. Wait a second. Bishop h6 is a strong move. That's checkmate, guys. That is a checkmate threat. Knight to d4. We're going to take and still have a checkmate threat. So what is their plan? Bishop c3. Knight c5, they take. I take. We're threatening checkmate, but then they can move their bishop. So I think we got to go knight to d4. Yeah, they're going to play bishop c3, aren't they? Oh, bishop c3 is annoying. I mean, we can still take and then jump in with our knight. If I play a4, they take, we take. We are threatening checkmate again. If they take me, I jump in with check and I'm happy. So they're probably going to play. What if they just take? Oh, that's what I said. I'm happy. If they move their bishop, that's what they're going to do. They're going to move their bishop. I take with check. I bring my knight in. So do I like that position better or knight here? Bishop c3. Takes. Knight c5. King moves. All right, I gotta go. I don't know, guys. I'm struggling here. Bishop c3 is gonna happen for sure. Yeah, it feels like I messed up something. Okay, I didn't see that move. Bishop g3. Did not see that one. Huh. Guess I have to go here. There's no more moves. I can't go anywhere else. he's going to play bishop b5, and then I'm going to take. He's going to... Oh, bishop a6. Oh, dude. Yeah, I did not see that. Did not see that. That was a good move. Wow. Okay. I think I'm in trouble. I think I'm in trouble now. I'm curious if I even played the opening right or not now. I feel like I played the opening right and just maybe messed up somewhere further along, but yeah, wow, just really getting outplayed with these bishop moves. Maybe I should have went for the a4 line. I didn't see all this though. They attack me. I'm going to go here. At this point, just trying to make it to the end game down the pawn and see if we can hold on. Obviously, our chances of an attack are gone now that they've got the rook cleared out. The bishop's active. Okay, so we'll take... I got to get this rook into the game somehow. She's probably going to go like here or there. Yeah, very slim chances that we're going to be able to hold on to this position, but we'll try. We're going to try to trade pawns. I'm going to try to trade as many pawns as we can. Also activate my king. And we cannot afford to lose any more pawns. If we lose another pawn here, we're in big trouble. So let's see. How do we get our king into the game? F6, king f7, f5, king f7. I'll go f6. Not sure. Maybe I should have gone there, but I just want to do this for now. Okay, so he's created a pass pawn, which is a very dangerous thing for us. So we have to get the king over there as fast as possible and see if we can stop it. I'm trying to gain some tempos here as I move my king. And unfortunately, I don't have a lot of time to think, so I just have to go with my instincts here. Do not want to trade bishops. That is a losing king and pawn ending. I mean, it's losing anyway, but I'm trying to give myself some type of drawing chances. He can create a pass pawn here whenever he wants, which is kind of a problem for us. Yeah, it's lost, guys. There's nothing to do here. Yeah, they're super strong. Let's see if we messed up the opening. I don't know. You could tell they're a very good player. I don't think I played a bad game. Yeah, look at that. Just never really had a chance. All right, let's check the opening. So most people don't take this, so I was kind of confused. Here, I knew knight c6 was the move. Let me turn on the database here. Okay, b6 is a move. Apparently, the engine says a5 is slightly better. Bishop e6. And you actually want to put your knight on b4. But this has been played quite a bit as well. And the engine says this is actually still equal. That was my mistake. Taking that knight was a big mistake. I need to play rook d7. Don't trade that. Just play rook d7. Double up the rooks. They're going to go bishop e2. And now you can try to reroute your knight here. Most people will stop me. Put the bishop back on b7. And this position should be fine for us. We can kick the knight away. We can kick the knight away. And in fact, black actually has a slight advantage. So the big mistake was trading this for this. That was the big mistake. Now, that being said, they actually played the wrong move. They were supposed to take me and then play bishop e2 or rook d1. So why was their move wrong? It felt like it was a wrong move. But I didn't take advantage of it. Knight takes b5 was okay. The move here was bishop h6 check now because I get to play rook d1 check, rook d2 check, and my rook is super active. The way that I did it in the game, yeah, it's just, it was like way too slow by the time I did it. It was way too slow. And then they could start doing all these annoying bishop moves. So I missed my opportunity. I needed to play this bishop h6 check as soon as I had the opportunity. That was it. Interesting. Yeah, I'm not super familiar with this position because nobody plays that line. You hardly ever get a chance to actually practice this stuff. All right. Well, it wasn't an awful game, but yeah, I mean, once you get to the end game, of course, he's just going to win it. Okay. We only lost 5 points though. So what am I playing? Oh, wait a second. Hold up. Okay. Somebody said they're ready. Let's go. Let's go. Knight f3 and c4. Ready opening. And against this, I mean, I don't know. Can I just play e4? and get the center. So this is just like a King's Indian. Okay. So this is just a King's Indian. And I suppose we can just play the main line here. So this is the main line. He plays the knight b8, which is not the main move. Normally the knight goes over here. So he wants to reroute it this way, obviously. Okay. White's plan is to expand on the queen's side. That much I know. He's also leaving this as an option. It's so weird. I don't usually play this side of these positions. This is so weird. All right. Well, let's not overthink it. We'll play h3. We'll put our bishop here. And then we'll just do the typical queenside stuff and see what happens. How does that sound, guys? Bishop's going to go on e3. Now, the thing is, we want to play c5, right? Which means we want to play b4 to support c5, and black's going to try to slow us down with this pawn capture. So we really need to play a3 to play b4 to play c5, okay? The thing is, when we play a3, a lot of times they play a4, and now if you play b4, there's en passant, and they cut off your pawn chain. So that's what we have to watch out for. Now, I don't think they can do it right now because I would just take it. So I think I can play a3 and b4 if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, this is typical plan. He wants to bring his knight over here. That makes sense, I believe. And how do I respond? Sorry, how do I respond to that? I don't really know. I don't really know. Just wants to go there and probably sacrifice and checkmate me over here. Maybe rook e1, bishop f1 would make some sense. I mean, I don't think we want to take the knight, at least not right now. I think I'm going to go a3. I don't ever play the white side of these positions, so kind of funny. I've been playing this as black, but not from white's perspective. I want to play b4 next. Yeah, f5. Typical idea from black. Let's go for b4. Okay, so now we have to be careful. They are threatening to take here. Might not be the end of the world. Knight to g5 is interesting because we could think about jumping in here and using the d5 square. If they take, probably just take back. Don't want to create a monster, though. I really don't want to create a monster. H6 we have to be ready for. I think it's here. You take and then go there, but do we get enough counterplay? I don't know, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Let's take it. I think I'm going to play rook b1 too to avoid the trades and also get away from this bishop. It kind of activates black's rook. Kind of feels like we're getting outplayed, which makes sense. I don't play these lines. That's why I usually play e4 with white, so I don't get experience in these positions. So that's what happens when you play openings you're not really familiar with. Bishop comes out, so we can't even play rook b1 anymore. You play rook c1. We could take this and play knight to d4. Still going to have to deal with this monster bishop. But it might not be awful. Yeah, okay. Against my better judgment. Because I do get, at least I'm getting something in return here. And if I move this rook off that diagonal, maybe the bishop's not so scary. What to do? What to do? Yeah, let's go. I think we go now. I think we go now. Because if he takes, I actually have multiple options. I could take either way. If I take with the pawn, the idea is it's opening up this square for my knight to jump in. If this trade happens, maybe we even sack the rook. Or we take with the rook. On knight takes d5, what am I doing though? Because my knight's going to be in trouble. So we take, which threatens something. So actually we could potentially get away with that. Yeah, it's getting complicated. I have to be really careful with this here. Looks like there's some tactic for black. Man, decisions here, guys. Rook takes, knight takes d5, queen takes d5. You can't take that because of the check. You could play c6. You could play c6. Then I go check, lose my queen, get a queen, lose my knight, losing material. If I move the queen, I'm still losing material. Okay, so let's go this way. So knight d5 now. Takes. We do have to sack the... he also has this annoying move. So yeah, I think I'll play just rook c1. I'll just wait a second on that. Here or here, actually. Well, let's defend the knight. Why not? Right, so he stops my knight from going there. He's not going to take, because that would give me this square, but I'm going to try to put pressure with like queen f3. Yeah, I like queen f3. Targeting here. This pawn's annoying. This pawn is actually very annoying for black. And their monster bishop doesn't have a ton of targets now. We got the rook off that diagonal. Our king feels relatively safe with the bishop guarding it. So yeah, let's see if we can make something happen here with queen f3. I don't know what black's plan is going to be at this point. They probably should have traded this because I think they could have used the a file, but now they don't have that option. Your first ever OTB chess tournament on Saturday. You're feeling anxious. Yeah, I would say like try to get a good workout in, do some cardio, just, something like that. Maybe before you play if you have time. And everybody's nervous their first time, so don't feel bad about it. What is this? I was going to go there anyway. So now I get a free pawn. They must be thinking of knight to d5 or knight to h5. Knight to d5, though, I just take it and I'm winning. So knight to h5. I mean, I move somewhere. They want to jump their knight or their rook to f4. That's interesting. That's actually interesting. I would love to trade this first because then my queen actually has somewhere to go. So can we get away with taking? If they take me, my bishop comes out. Knight h5, do I have a move? Yeah, let's do it. We're going to do it this way. We're going to do it this way. And it's about time. It's about time to start playing a little bit faster. Yeah, Brian, even when I went back to start playing tournaments again, because it had been like quite a few years, like I was feeling a bit nervous too. Okay, the nice thing about this is we get the square. We get the square. So I want to target the queen. Now I'm not sure which way I'm going to take. If he takes it, do I take with the bishop and keep the pressure here? Yeah, probably. Because then the bishop also can defend. If I take with the pawn, that's interesting. Because if I take with the pawn, black's position is much more cramped, but it also cuts off the bishop from the defense of my king. That's a very interesting decision. Man, actually. I'm not actually sure. Now that I look at it, I do think I want to take with the pawn. He's going to get rook b8, though. The king is going to move for sure. So you're not always going to have the threat of a check. But you could just permanently have this amazing bishop. Your king is just going to be... No, I think we got to take with the bishop. I think we got to take with the bishop. I'm worried about the attack with the queen and the bishop over here if I don't have any support. This also is going to make him waste time playing king h8. Okay. Rook b1, b7. That's got to be the best plan if we can make it happen. He's probably going to try to stop that. Queen g4. The nice thing about a queen move like this is you get control of these squares before black does, which could be super valuable. This rook's in a good position. This bishop's in a good position. Yeah, the queen and the rook. So it's either going to be rook b1 or queen g4 that I'm thinking of. Definitely one of these moves. Now black's going to be in big time pressure too. Okay, interesting move. Got to be careful about that. Yeah. Yeah, he's stopping my idea. Interesting. Queen check, we have queen g4. What? Oh, 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 oh. Is it alt? I think it's alt. I don't know if I have auto queen on. I think it's alt. Yeah. Let's go. We get to do a knight. You don't see that every day. Very rare when you get a chance to actually make use of the under promotion in chess. That is beautiful. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this. Let's just take a moment. Because if I got the queen, honestly, I'm probably still winning. But then you give them a chance. You give them like one final chance to generate some kind of an attack, which the more I look at it, the more I'm like, there's probably not an attack there. But this just ends the game. It's just like, yep, queen is gone. You get an extra knight, game over, you know? And if you think about it, getting a queen doesn't remove their queen. So it's a net gain of like, you got an extra queen. By doing this, you remove their queen and you get a knight. So net gain is like a queen and a knight, essentially. So it's even from a material standpoint, this is the smart decision. Chess Squatch. Do I have a favorite scripture? Oh, good question. Good question, man. I don't know. Let me think about that for a second. Favorite scripture. I mean, I always liked Proverbs 3, 5, and 6. But there's other ones. Some Psalms are really good too. Like Psalm 139 is really good. I like Psalms and Proverbs. Those are probably my two favorite books. And so like most of them would come out of there. I can't think of one like off the top of my head, but probably something in there. So I didn't really know what I was doing. I mean, I knew that this was the main line, but they kind of surprised me here because I think 97. Let me check the openings. I think 97 is definitely the main move. Yeah, it is. So they went for some kind of a sideline, which was not as good. And most people here are playing 91. I did something totally different, which Stockfish says is okay. Yeah, Stockfish actually says this is fine. Doesn't like that move. It wanted me to actually kick this knight away as soon as I had the opportunity here when my bishop's in place. And once the knight has to go back, now it wants me to take. Oh, yeah. See, this is an idea that like if I played this more often, I would probably know this. Because I don't play it often, I don't know it. So you wait for the right moment, you kick the knight back to h5, and then you trade because now black has a problem. If they take with the rook, they're getting forked. But if they take with the pawn, their knight is under attack. So knight g5 is very powerful because now you're attacking both of these things. So they have to like do something like this. You jump in anyway, and now you have this square, and yeah, white's doing great. So that's an opportunity that I missed. Yeah, and still had an okay position. Very complicated here. B5. Yeah, this was actually a good move. Stockfish likes it. That was a good move. Allowing this. Let me see. Yes, Stockfish agrees. You want to take with the bishop. So if I would have taken with the pawn, it looks really pretty. But it cuts off my bishop from defending. And now, yeah, rook f4. And now I got to be real careful. The queen, the bishop, the rook. And I don't have anybody to defend. My bishop can't defend. These guys are not really in a great position. And black is actually already winning. So this was kind of a critical move to take with the bishop. And then they just messed up in the time pressure here. They kind of fell apart. I think they forgot about the discover check, right? Yep, Stockfish agrees. E8 knight. That is the move. That's so cool. Don't get to see that very often. All right. We're 25-01. We got 1 point. Yes, we got 1 point. All right, here we go. E4. Okay, I have to do a really short bathroom gambit. I just want to play some opening moves, then I'm going to go. I'm going to try to get my opponent to stop and think, hopefully. And then I'm going to go. Bishop B4 is the move. Okay. We're going to go queen C2. I know this much. I'm going to put the queen on C2. I'll be right back, guys. Ah, they didn't think it all, did they? All right, it's fine. It's fine. I think I want to go bishop G5 to be annoying here. And if we can get them to play F6, we're happy. Even H6 kind of creates some weaknesses. Now I have to decide, where does the bishop go? We'll keep it here for right now. This could be annoying. Waiting for the bathroom blunder. What bathroom blunder? What are you talking? I'm not going to blunder from the bathroom gambit. All right, let's put a rook here. It's actually a tough decision because let's drop the bishop back here. This is why we put the queen on C2, by the way, because we want to create this battery here. At least I think that's what's going on. I want to play E5. Yeah, I almost wish I would have put the rooks here and here instead. Sometimes that happens. All right. I'm going to play E5. I'm going to threaten the knight E4, so he's probably going to take me now. No, he doesn't. Risky move, buddy. Risky move. Huh. So the idea is he's going to have a discovered attack. Wow, what is going on? Let's get away from that. And we actually are thinking about this one. Of course, if they take me, I'll take back. Wait, actually, will I take back or will I play queen e4? Hold on. Checkmate, f5, we take. G6. Knight moves, we take a queen. I actually might play queen e4 and then take back. F5 en passant. It's not actually checkmate. Bishop can go to F6. Queen E4, F5, en passant, bishop F6. Check here. Can't go bishop G6 because the knight takes it. Ah. I really wanted, see, I knew that was going to happen. That's why I wanted to do it, but I don't think it worked. It's too bad. Okay, can we get fancy? Can we get a little fancy? That threatens checkmate. Oh, G6. No, we can't. G6. That's so annoying. I must have misplayed this, guys. We must have done something wrong here. I don't think this is how this is supposed to go down. Let's play A4. Just targeting the bishop, because if we get rid of that bishop, if we can get rid of this bishop, even if we have to sack our rook for it, this is really good, okay? While we have the pin here, this is really good. Because you can't really deal with it easily. I mean, G6, but then the dark squares. So we give up that and we go Queen E4, and black is in big trouble, I think. And their problem, actually, this is causing a lot of problems for them because they can't easily move their queen away because of the knight. Bishop D5 loses a pawn. We start coming in that way. Takes Queen E4. Yeah, that's the idea. That's the simple plan. Beginner friendly. I meant the explanations are beginner friendly, not the games are beginner friendly level. I try to explain things in a way that anybody can understand. So we want to go here, create a battery, which will be checkmate. We can't do it because the bishop's stopping us. So all I'm trying to do is get rid of the bishop. That's what it comes down to. Even at the cost of sacrificing a rook, because it allows us to create that battery, it would be worth it probably. And another important point is they can't just easily block us off with the knight because it's pinned. So we're putting all those details together, and black is now realizing the situation, I think. And that is why they're spending some time finally. Whoa. Whoa. What? What? What is this? My instinct says take the knight. We lose a rook. Trade here and play Queen E4. That's my instinct. Alternatively, we sack here to lure the bishop away. Then we go, but then they're going to move the knight. Yeah, we don't want the knight to get in our way. We got to take this thing. We got to take this thing. And I also don't want to trade here because we don't have a checkmate threat anymore. And we just made a big trade. We don't want a big trade. We want to win the game. We want to win the game. So we're going to take this and go Queen E4. I don't care if they take my bishop, if I get a checkmate. F5, we en passant, which also defends my bishop. How nice is that? G6, we drop the bishop back, and now we are sneaking in a different way. So that's the plan. Can they take with the rook? I don't think that changes my plan any. So here we go. Right? G6, you would expect. And I guess we're going to go queen H4. There's knight E5. Or queen F4 stops knight E5. So it's like, okay, you have two ways to do the same thing, but one of them defends your pawn. Maybe we should do that. Because there is some crazy queen sacrifice knight G4 check thing, which I don't want to let happen. So I think queen F4 is the move. Yeah, I'll show this after the game, what I was talking about there. I think that this would have walked into a very nasty queen F2 check tactic. Now, maybe I could have played king H1 and avoided it, but... So check, checkmate, check takes, rook up. We got to get a rook up here, but not get mated. That's what we have to do. If we do that, we're going to win the game. That's exactly what we have to do, guys. Okay. Do I attack his rook? Do I play bishop F1, bishop B1? I want to go here. I don't want to get checkmated. And once I'm here, we're in position for the beautiful queen sacrifice rook H4 checkmate. Okay? The question is, how does black stop us? Hopefully they're not listening to the stream. Hopefully they're not listening to the stream. So basically just gave away my brilliant plan. All right. The problem is it's not easy to stop that, even if you know it's coming, right? It's like, what do you do? Queen A1? Nope. Checkaroo. We take the queen, so you can't go there. Dude, this is very hard to stop, actually. You can really see the power of a bishop like this. Supported by a pawn, blockading these pawns, slicing across the king. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous. The rooks are basically useless in this position for black. It's really a question of, yeah, can they generate some sort of a... Okay, rook d4. I think we go rook d4. Checkmate. So checkmate. That's the threat. They can play h5, but then we... Oh, they didn't see it. They didn't see it. Let's go. This is why you have to work on your tactics. That's why you work on your tactics. Yeah. That was a cool finish. Okay, so a few mistakes along the way there. We did have the brilliant move at the end to finish off the game. So what I was showing you guys earlier... Yes. Yes, I'm looking at the engine. Queen h4 is not winning. Queen f4 is winning. So what I saw was that the knight could now come in. And I was thinking that even if I'm able to like go here and at some point do this, which I don't even have time for this, but even if I did, I was afraid of queen takes f2 because of this fork. See that? So I realized that the knight getting to e5 was actually a big problem. So that is why queen f4 was such a nice move, because we still are threatening to sneak in here, put the bishop there, and checkmate the king. For example, black does some random move. I'm going to take this, and now I can go here and it's checkmate. Oh, no, it's not, because the same thing. Wow. Ooh, so I would have to actually pause, deal with that. Then you go bishop f6. Now it's checkmate. Yeah, that's such a sneaky tactic there. But the point was, you basically are still threatening those dark squared things, but you're also defending your pawn, right? So that's why queen f4 was such a great move. And then bishop f6. Yeah, so Stockfish actually says instead of bishop b1, bishop f1. I mean, I can see that this keeps my king safer, but I honestly thought that it was going to be more valuable to have it here because that stops some options from them. I'm sorry. The move is knight to b2. Oh, wait. No. What's the deal? Whoa. Whoa. Rook c4. Only a computer would find this idea. So the idea is now when I sacrifice my queen to set up checkmate, it's not checkmate because the rook takes me. That is wild. And now you see the idea of bishop f1. It's not even that it keeps my king safer. It's controlling this square. That's why it wanted it there. So you could take this rook. That is so crazy. So it was all about this idea of this is what white is trying to do. Sacrifice checkmate. How can black stop that? Rook c4 is going to be the only way. Therefore, put the bishop on f1. So wait, wouldn't e2 also be a good move? No, e2 is not as good. Why not? Because now rook a6, and guess what? They're sneaking in on the back rank. So there was multiple ways for black to try to stop this plan. I saw one of them, which was the back rank infiltration. That's why I went here. I did not see this rook c4 idea. So what Stockfish is saying is bishop f1 stops both. It stops both of black's ideas. And so now when I play rook d4, I'm just winning. You can't really stop me. It says h5 is the only move, but then I can play queen g5 and how am I getting through now? Again, I'm going to take this. Okay, so Stockfish is like, there's no immediate checkmate. You got to play the slow game. Okay, wow. That's super interesting. Bishop f1. Okay. Wow, what a game. All right. Bathroom Gambit for the win. For 2508, we got some points. Lost a couple games, and we've still got some points today. 2,500. Let's go. Let's go. Here we go. Smith-Morra Gambit. Let's see what they're going to do. Are they going to accept this thing? No. Okay, we push. We take here. He plays knight c7. Not familiar with that at all, but it can't be a very good move, can it? Let's develop the piece. It just seems like such an ugly and awkward square for the knight. I assume it's going to go to e6 one day, but in the meantime, look at black's position. What is this? What is happening here, guys? I feel like a quick h4, h5 might be in order. Usually that's a pretty decent plan if they fianchetto early like this. Let's do it. Not even giving black the option to d5. Okay, so if I en passant, the queen comes out. Then I can play bishop f4, which is hitting the knight. There might be queen e6. We play knight bd2. They can trade the queens. Our position is still fine. Alternatively, I just drop back. Then they're going to get the bishop to come out. Yeah, I think we should probably do that line. This can't be bad for us. Bishop f4 here. And they can't play e5 because we have 3 attackers, only 2 defenders. So they're going to play queen e6 or queen d5. Same idea. Same idea. And I'm going to bring the knight. So, okay, we're not going to get to attack them and checkmate them, but we should have a very pleasant middle to end game here, as far as I can tell. They're going to move their knight to one of these squares now. And I'm going to drop my bishop back somewhere. Here or here? Let's go here. I can castle or play bishop c4 next, or even bishop b5, maybe pin this and jump a knight into e5. Okay. So if we try to attack the pawn, he's going to castle. Bishop to b5. Alternatively, yeah, what is the alternative? I guess we got to go forward with that. What else am I going to do? Could play bishop d3 too, but then I don't know. The rook's going to be lined up. I'm not sure if that's going to cut it for us. I think we go bishop b5. He's going to probably move his pawn. I'm going to have to deal with my knight. I think we just move it at that point. Bishop g7, we will have to watch out for a sacrifice and a fork. Okay. But we can probably just castle and get the king away from that. Castling this way looks a bit risky because, by the way, beginner-friendly tip, you cannot castle through a check. So if your king crosses through a check, you can't castle. But in this case, we're not crossing our king through because these two squares do not cross the bishop's path, so it's fine. Yes, that's what I thought. Attacking our knight. See, I think we're just going to move back. If I want to get fancy, I can go here, but I don't see what benefit that is. The idea is takes, but I think I'm just going to go back here. So yeah, we could castle this way, but I'm afraid to do it with the bishop in front of my king. Also, when there's potential for bishop h6 check, that looks like we can almost get ourselves mated by the bishops and the rook and the knight. So I don't think I'm going to be castling queenside. Most likely we're going to be staying over here. Or maybe even just playing king e2. Now, why would you want to play king e2 instead of castle kingside? Well, because king e2, your king helps support the file, which is going to be very useful when you fight for it later. So long as you're not in danger of getting forked or checked or anything, which I don't think we are, king e2 actually looks maybe like the best move. Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. I really need to get a rook on the d file, I think. Okay, unfortunately, I might need to take that because if I try to go back, I actually get trapped. Well, I should have castled then. See, this is what I was afraid of, actually, getting checked like this. Yeah, so I kind of messed up. I kind of messed up. He's going to play bishop d3 check, 100%. I'm going to have to make a very awkward move. We can't go up because of the knight, and we're just in trouble. So we have to go back, which is so bad. I mean, I say it's so bad. Maybe it's not so bad, but it's not what we wanted. You never want your rooks to be disconnected like this. So I probably should have castled. That being said, we might be able to make it work. It's just going to take a bunch of extra moves. Yeah, I would love to be able to castle maybe now. Actually, even now it's kind of risky. But we can't, so we're going to go here. And the idea is try to trade off a pair of rooks and then move my king up somewhere and then bring the other rook over. Or rook d2, king here, rook over here. But that's going to take 4 moves, which I don't think I have 4 moves. Ah, I could play rook h3. Uh-huh. Rook h3 is interesting. I'm just going to go here. I'm just going to cut off the defense of the bishop. So now the bishop has to move. Okay, so this is what I was talking about. We trade one pair of rooks and then move the king and bring the other rook. It's much slower, but sometimes you just have to do it. They can mess up my pawn structure, which is not ideal, but it's probably okay. Okay. So now we're clearing the spot for the rook. We have to deal with the pawn, so I'm going to have to play probably g3. But at least now if the trade happens, I can actually keep my pawn chain intact. My pawn island without any doubled pawns, which is good. But yeah, g3, bring the rook over. We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Let's go ahead and fix that. Now the rook is freed up to go. This is very annoying, actually, for black because they can't put their rook on the file. So that's a great square for the bishop. It's just stopping that critical move. Okay, so he goes there instead. I think I want to go on the file. I can also go to e1 and put pressure here, but I think I like this one. This would be checkmate, by the way, if these pieces were gone. Just something to keep in mind. Of course, they're there, so I don't have a checkmate, but I'm going to be paying attention to that kind of a thing. Yeah, so this is most likely going to be a draw. They are higher rated than me, so I'm okay if they want to draw. They're up on time. They have the bishop pair. I don't think they're going to take a draw. They're probably going to find a different move. But if they did take it, most likely, very likely a draw. Why do I say that? Because the bishops are on the opposite color. So I'm going to be able to create a very strong blockade, like on all these squares with my bishop and my pawns. And this bishop's not going to be able to do anything about it, and vice versa. Black's going to be able to make a blockade on the light squares. I'm not going to be able to do anything about it because my bishop can't play a role. Even if there's some rooks, unless one of us makes a huge blunder, it's going to be a draw if they take the knight. So I wouldn't be surprised if black tries to find a different move, but if they can't find anything, they might just be okay with the draw. I keep grabbing my water and thinking that there's going to be water in it, but it's, well, there's a drop that I just spilled on myself. But that's it. Yeah, they're probably going to take the draw at this point. The lower they get on time, the more likely they're going to take the draw. Because if they think for too long and don't take it, then they are taking a big risk. Yeah, we get 1 point for a draw. 2509. What are they going to do? Interesting. Yeah, I'm really feeling like it's going to be a draw now. Down a minute and a half. They're probably not going to want to take too many risks. Unless they have a very particular idea that they're thinking through, but I don't really see much for black. Especially with my knight being so active there, you kind of, it seems like they're going to take it. Yeah, I'd be really surprised at this point if they don't take my knight. Okay. Well, there you go. How about that? So should definitely still be a draw. But the fact that they've spent so much time, I mean, I'm going to play on for a bit here. I actually can invade with my king pretty nicely to the back of the pawn chain. You know, when I said about making a blockade, they have to make sure that I don't get to the back of it and just take all the pawns. That's a different story. Almost wonder if black is panicking here a little bit. It's what it looks like. Rook d8. I'm going to go here. Okay, let's go ahead with my king. So what is their plan? How are they going to stop me from just taking all their pawns? Huh. So bishop f6. Now I'm threatening to take it. Are there any sneaky tactics like here? I take check. I move. Da da da. Yeah, that's the one. So we need to make sure we're not messing this up. If I take, they play f5. Let's say I take, oh, I can't, my bishop. So let's say I go back here. They push. Yeah, that actually is kind of sneaky, isn't it? So takes there, takes, check. Oh, but I just, wait a second. I just take it. They take, I take. Oh, I'm fine. I'm fine, guys. I mean, it's tricky. It's tricky, but I think we're fine. Let's go. Let's go. I think we're fine because this pawn is going to win the game for us. This pawn right here is going to win the game for us. If I push, they take it. So let's leave it. No. Nelson. It's so annoying. We had it. We had it. We should not have lost to that guy. Man. That is awful. That is so awful. Sorry, guys. I should do better. I should do better. That's very disappointing. Yeah, we're totally winning. I knew it. I knew we were totally winning. How did I ruin this? That was my mistake? Bishop d4? What? Chess is hard sometimes. This is such an logical move. That is the mistake. It goes from plus almost 6 to equal. That is crazy. I had to play the move c4. Only move. Why is this the only move? I have no idea. Because now I can go check and do this. Oh, I had to recreate another pass pawn. That's why. I had to create another pass pawn over here. And then I just got flagged. Unbelievable. I just got flagged. kind of just panicked, honestly. That's so frustrating. That guy should not have won that game. He spent way too long. He didn't want to take a draw. He missed rook takes d3. I had like a million pawns with my bishop. Ah, that's awful. Can't stop on that game. Now I'm probably going to lose because I'm so super tilted. Oh boy. So a Scotch game. Okay. I'm not super familiar with these, but let's see if we can figure this out. Bishop d3. I think we can play d5 here. And I don't think we have any problems. Probably just bishop e7 and castles. Or even bishop e6. Huh. Yeah, we'll go bishop e7. Just so we don't run into any problems along the e-file. I'm going to push by because now I have a protected pass pawn. Well, hopefully protected pass pawn. I'm counting on this pawn being a very nice asset for us as the game goes on. So let's go ahead and maybe I should actually just get the diagonal here. Yeah, let's go ahead and do that first. And then I'll probably play c5 next to support the pawn. I want to see where this knight is going to go, though. I'm stopping this unless they're willing to give up their bishop here. I can't believe we lost that game, guys. Oh, that is so bad. Yeah, just create another pass pawn. Game over. You have 3 pass pawns. You have a bishop. What's he going to do? So bad. All right, let's go c5. Go ahead and protect the pawn here. Probably going to get my rook here, maybe here, and I don't know what the queen's going to do yet. Lots of options for the queen. Definitely rook e8 seems like a no-brainer. Okay, kind of tricked me. He kind of tricked me. Now he wants to draw. Do I want to draw? The thing is, guys, even losing this pawn, I still feel like our position's very good. So I kind of don't think I want to draw, but well, that's very interesting. So we can play h6 or g6, probably g6. He's going to take the pawn. Rook c8. Yeah, do I actually have an attack? I don't really have an attack. You lose 3 points for a draw. All right, let's do a poll. I don't know if I'm allowed to do this, but Take the draw? Yes or no? Let's let chat decide. He's going to win a pawn, so we're going to be down a pawn. But I do have active bishops, so it's 60% say no, 62% say no, 64%. Wow. 65% say no. All right. All right. Fine. Thank you guys. Appreciate it. No draw. Game on. If we lose this game, I'm blaming chat. You guys are at fault if we lose, all right? Just saying. All right, let's get a rook on the e-file. We got to fight for this here. Our bishops are pretty nice. So, I mean, I think we have compensation, but I totally missed this idea. I think Stockfish probably says white has an advantage. So I think from a completely objective standpoint, we probably should have taken the draw. But could be wrong about that. We'll check after the game. The question is, did they offer the draw because they're just afraid of my high rating and they wanted a few points? Or did they offer the draw as a psychological trick, assuming I wouldn't take it, but expecting it to tilt me and make me play different? That's what I really want to know. Why did they offer the draw? They just wanted to gain points. I mean, it was only 3 points, so it wasn't like a ton of points. 94. Okay. So if we take that, we have opposite color bishops, also leading potentially to a draw. If I play rook c8, takes, we can attack. There's always going to be bishop f1. I don't like that. If I go back here, hits the queen. Where does their queen have to go? I kind of like that move. Force the queen to some awkward square. Wait a second. Hold on a second. Where does the queen go? No. So it has to go here or here? No, sorry. Yeah. Here or here? Bishop g5 hits the queen. Bishop h4 hits the queen. Bishop d6 hits the queen. Knight f6, though, is a problem. I mean, if I just go back to g7, what's going to happen? Knight d6 looks kind of uncomfortable. Kind of feel like I should do this. But the queen e5 is a bit annoying, guys. It really is. Hmm. All right, let's go here. I don't want to lose on time. Let's go here. They're probably going to play queen e5, and I still have to figure out a move, unfortunately. If I take at that point, then we can move the bishop somewhere. Yeah. I don't know. I don't know, guys. I don't know about this. F6, queen check, king here. Why does that feel super dangerous? Why does that feel super dangerous? I don't see anything. I just feel something. All right, let's go. Let's go. Yeah, bishop b4 does not win an exchange. Bishop b4, good idea. But bishop b4, they're going to play knight f6 check, forking me. And I can't take it because it's defended. And then they're going to be taking me, threatening checkmate. I'm not even going to have time to take them. It's going to be a mess. So bishop b4 would be a big mistake. That's why we kind of have to keep the bishop here right now to control this knight. Keep this knight under control. So I'm expecting queen e6. I'm going to move my king. And hope I don't get checkmated to some crazy tactic. Now maybe bishop b4, but then they're going to trade. We keep the bishop pair, though, with a nice aggressive position. I think I would be okay with that. Still down a pawn, unfortunately. Yeah, we'll let him do it. We'll play this endgame down a pawn, but we have the bishops in the open file. I don't know if it's enough, but let's see what we can do. I'm going to play f5 here, gain some more control over these squares. I'm going to try to put the pressure on the clock here, play a little bit faster. Okay, that's an interesting idea that they're trying to go for. Trying to win a pawn here. Trying to win a pawn. Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that. Oh, no. All right. We're going to lose. Yeah, I think we're going to lose, guys. can't stop these pawns. Cannot stop these pawns, guys. That's the problem. Also that. Yeah, this is just lost. There's like nothing to do here. I think we should have taken the draw, guys. I think we should have taken the draw. King's going to come up. Knight's going to put me in check, and that's GG. That is game over, my friends. I'll try to come around this way. It doesn't really matter. This is totally losing, so it's just a matter of time before these pawns become queens. Let's see. Not even going to let me try a trick. It's not even going to let me try a stalemate trap. What do you guys think about that? Should have taken the draw. I knew it. Had a feeling. Had a feeling. It seems like they're struggling with this endgame, though, so maybe we have a chance. They did know how to checkmate. They did know how to checkmate. Huh. Interesting. Interesting game. That's all I will say. All right, let's go. I have probably time for like 1 or 2 more games. Ooh, all right, let's go. Let's go. Who is this? Let's see how a GM responds to this crazy opening. I'm really curious if they know this. I want to take this and play d6, I think. Just real simple. Let me think about this. I want to make sure I get the order right here. Let's play b5. Do I even need to take that, or do I just play d6? I might not even need to take it. Also could go hunt the bishop straight away. No, we need this defended. Okay, let's play d6. We're going to play bishop g5, I think. Yeah, I might just hunt the bishop. If they try to play bishop d5, we play c6. We're going to get the bishop anyway. So that's kind of annoying. Ooh. Forgot about this. Although, knight f7, queen e7 takes. Oh, yeah, because we don't actually... Okay, I forgot about this. I mean, we can play queen e7, rook g8. That just feels really bad, but maybe it's not as bad as it looks. Okay, let's go queen e7. I think we're definitely going to want to play that move. Then I have to decide, do I probably do have to play rook g8. There's not any immediate obvious move for white, though, which makes me think they might play bishop check just to make me lose castling rights. Okay, they do. So we can take the 2 pieces for the queen, which is not going to be good enough. Or we can go back. Or I can go here and play knight d8. We can cover up the squares. They do have this move, though. Maybe we just go back. They're going to go back. I'm going to go back. It's the same position, except I can't castle. So they want knight d5. So if I play h6, knight d5, I take, they take. They're going to get this. I can play here. Knight d5 takes. I have c6. I think I like knight a5 or knight d4. Knight d4, same idea. Maybe even better. So takes c6. Check. I move c3. My knight has to move. You go here. Takes. Am I miscalculating something? c6. Check there. No, they could take. Then we play h6. Yeah, it's just a big trade. It's just a big trade. Okay. Why do they start with that? What's the idea? They want my king to be here when they play knight to d5. So that after they take, they have knight f7. Very sneaky. I think it's fine because I get a bishop and probably a knight. I think it's fine. Okay, I got to move the knight. Where to? This is okay for us, guys. I think this is okay for us. If we can get this knight, I think we're okay. So g6, bishop g7. The question is he going to play here and sack it? Or try to generate an attack on my weak king? Probably, yeah, it's this one. Okay. Like, should I take time to deal with this or not worry about it? It's not an easy question, is it? Okay. I need to get the knight though, so let's go ahead and do this. I think I'm gonna run over here with my king away from the attack after I get rid of this knight. I will have two pieces for the rook and pawn, which is great. Bishop a5. I think we just go knight b7. So I can sack the pawn or defend the pawn, but then I have to worry about some other stuff. Yeah, let's sack the pawn. We're going to have to deal with these, unfortunately. But I think my king will be much safer once we get over here. Okay. This is pretty risky, but I'm trying to get rid of this pawn. And I'm thinking my king hopefully is still going to be able to hide over here and get away from this. This pin is a big problem, though, too. I'm not exactly sure how to deal with that. Hmm. Yeah, how do we do this? How do we get away from this mess here? I don't see any good moves, guys. I don't know what to do. My pieces are just so passive and they're not on good squares, right? Like there's just not much I can do here. Yep. This is bad, bad, bad. There's probably some tactic I'm missing here. But I'm running out of time, so I got to go for it and hope it works. Trying to cut off the support so we could take this rook. Takes with the pawn, we could take there. He checks me, I take the rook, so he's not going to do that. He's probably just going to take... No, but he has to be careful with the back rank, actually. Because he can't take my queen, right? So he can check me, but that's a good move. That's a really good move, actually. Wow. Yeah, that's a great move. I can't do anything. Yeah, man. It's losing. It's losing. Check, check. It's losing, I think. Man, yeah, I messed up the opening big time. Let's see what I did wrong. I think we messed up the opening. Actually, I was equal at one point. So he did mess up something. Okay, so D3 is not even a good move. Very passive, not a great move. I am supposed to take it straight away. Then play knight f6. Oh, I guess b5 was my mistake. Yeah. Because by putting the bishop on that diagonal, I gave myself more problems to worry about that wouldn't be there otherwise. That was the big mistake. Now, that being said, Stockfish says you can still play d5 and be just fine. I mean, just fine. Like, white has an advantage, but d5 and just take this. No, not even take it. That's not the idea. That loses. Wow. Knight to d4. Yeah, I got to study these lines if I'm going to play this because this is very wild stuff. But I think no, he was right about this. So what did he do wrong? Yeah, it actually was about equal here. If I play queen e5. So trading this was bad. I opened up the e file, which I did have a feeling. So queen e5 would have been a better try. Yeah, after that e file got open, I was in trouble. And this doesn't really save me. Yeah, queen c3 was the best move. I'm just totally losing. The problem is he's now threatening to take my queen because now there's no more back rank, right? Because the queen is defending with the rook. So I lose all of my back rank tactics and I have to save my queen and deal with this check all at the same time. And you just can't do it all. So if you save your queen, he's coming in here and I'm just getting mated. Yeah, it's over. All right, we lost a bunch of points today. Sorry, guys. Although that one game should not have happened. And then I was tilted and then, yeah. All right. Anyway, hope you guys learned something. I'm going to end it here. I will see you guys next time. And I think we played a decent game against the GM, considering I was playing an opening that I wasn't really familiar with. So maybe that was a mistake, but I wanted to try it.